Shock waves of agony and bitter disbelief raced through Las Vegas native Kyle Busch. Trapped in his car, unable to move, after smashing headlong into a solid concrete wall. Only one thought circled his head. Will I ever race again? Natural-born racer Kyle Busch severely injured his legs. His main concern was relearning how to walk rather than getting back into a car. He was determined to get back to racing, but knew he would not make the chase and certainly not win his first career championship. After all, he would miss half the season because of his injuries. Only in movies do comebacks of that magnitude occur. The world was astonished when on November 22nd of 2015, Kyle Busch accomplished the impossible. This is Kyle Busch's unthinkable comeback. Joe Gibbs driver Kyle Busch was arguably the most skilled racer without a championship. His cunning and aggressiveness on the track made him a force to be reckoned with. He quickly became one of the most respected, yet hated, drivers in the series. His methods turned out to be effective as he continued to win regardless of the persecution from fans and drivers alike. On the eve of NASCAR's biggest race, the infamous Daytona 500, all attention was directed towards NASCAR legend Jeff Gordon, as this would be his last 500 start. However, that all changed when, with just 8 laps to go in the Xfinity Series race, Kyle Busch was involved in a multi-car wreck.
Cars are spinning just outside the tri-oval.
Kyle Busch has just made heavy contact with the inside retaining wall. He hit it head on.
You're right, KB. You're right, KB.
An eerie silence fell over the track, despite the whine of emergency vehicles. Kyle Busch was rushed to Halifax Medical Center, where he learned the extent of his injuries. Busch was then put on a plane and transported back to his home in Charlotte, North Carolina. Recovery was a must for Kyle Busch. Working day and night, he slowly gained enough strength to walk. NASCAR issued a waiver stating he was eligible for the chase, assuming that he was in the top 30 in points and had at least one win. On May 16, 2015, roaring applause greeted the ears of the once hated driver. Getting back into racing was grueling, filled with mistakes as well as some mild successes. The 18 team was in 39th place, 173 points behind 30th place, and no more second chances.
Kyle Busch got turned right on the front straightaway.
And this is what I was saying a bit ago. They cannot afford a DNF. They've had 2. They can't afford any more. This really is a big blow to that team.
His 5th start since returning to the series, NASCAR headed to the wine country for the running of the Toyota Save Mart 350, one of the biggest and toughest tracks to navigate. Exercising his left leg more than normal with heavy braking zones, Kyle Busch demonstrates he was ready for the challenge.
This race just got more interesting. Who will pit? Who will not?
7 laps to go. Let's see if Jimmy Johnson can hang on and win this, or one of the guys behind him with fresh tires take the victory.
Kyle Busch is very fast and closing. Move Kyle Busch to the 2nd spot. Kyle Busch around Jimmy Johnson up to the top of the hill. He leads it to 4.
This is an incredible accomplishment for this young man to come out of the hospital, get back in his car, and here he is. He's going to drive this thing into victory circle.
No crutches necessary. Kyle Busch wins at Sonoma.
What? Are you kidding me?
What Kyle showed at Sonoma was pure determination. He wasn't going down without a fight. Kyle Busch now 136 points out of his goal to reach 30th in points. On July 11th, the teams headed to the horse-roaming hills of Kentucky. But what came next would be something that would never be forgotten in the history of NASCAR.
We're adding history. Coming out of turn number 4, Kyle Busch is going to win in Kentucky.
Awesome job. Awesome job.
Now 128 points behind the chance at a championship, NASCAR heads to Loudon, where the 18 team goes a lap down during the race, but there was no giving up.
That move by Kyle Busch is huge because this puts Kyle Busch back on the lead lap.
Kyle Busch with 31 career victories. He's looking for number 32 here today. And the great comeback story of 2015 continues as Kyle Busch picks up his third win.
Such an awesome win, such an awesome comeback.
The Brickyard, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. These hallowed grounds have made drivers into legends over the years. Winning at this track meant you were not just a driver. Winning meant you were making history. And as proven from weeks past, the 18 team already knew how to start edging their name into the history books.
Kyle Busch with the advantage going into turn one. Kyle Busch is going around a thunder into turn three. In the short shoot, a 2-car length advantage for Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is going to add his name to the illustrious list of Brickyard 400 winners. Woo! Good job, boys! Awesome! Yes, yes, yes! Woo!
I don't know who's better than you, Kyle Busch. I haven't met him yet. I love you, brother. Great work, team. This is awesome!
4 out of the last 5 races now belong to the comeback story of the year, maybe the century.
Kyle Busch has already accomplished far more than any race fan or race team could have ever imagined. Entering the next 6 races, Kyle Busch did not slow down. The next race, he led until a miscalculation with the fuel on the final lap. He went to finish 3rd at the Glen, and finally clinched a spot in the chase for the Cup at the conclusion of Darlington. He would breeze through the first round of the chase. Come the second round at Talladega, the 18 team just needed a solid run. With 2 laps to go, Kevin Harvick spins Trevor Bayne, collecting multiple cars. But luckily, the 18 car avoided it all, punching his ticket to the penultimate round. Over the next 3 races, Kyle would finish 5th, 4th, and 4th again, claiming his spot in the all-important Championship 4. Now finally reaching the final race of the season, Homestead, Miami. All of the 4 drivers were Cinderella stories. You had Martin Truex Jr., the little team that could, from Denver, Colorado. Or what about Kevin Harvick, who hoped for back-to-back championships? Jeff Gordon, having his final race with a shot at the title for the Sprint Cup. And then you have Kyle Busch. Busch didn't need to win the race to become the Cup champion. He just needed to finish ahead of the other 3 drivers to claim his very first Cup Series title.
The green flag is in the air.
As the race progressed, all 4 of the championship contenders ran in the top 5. Then evenly started to fade, keeping the 18 car in position to win the championship. But with 10 laps to go, a caution came out. With the 18 team cruising to a championship title, this was an unwelcome caution for the entire organization. Race leader Brad Keselowski would elect the inside lane for the restart, putting Kevin Harvick, the only driver still in position to win the championship, right behind the 18.
Green flag back in the air. The pack around the outside. Kyle Busch is your leader to the back straightaway.
Kyle Busch trying to win the race, trying to win a championship. Behind him now, the closer, Kevin Harvick.
Harvick is there.
Kevin Harvick giving her all she's got right now. He'll wind up that car. Busch driving for his life right now and driving it like he stole it, pulling away for the rest of the field.
His closest competitor, just a dot in the rearview mirror. Kyle Busch missed the first 11 races of the season with a broken leg and a broken foot after an accident at Daytona.
The win goes to Kyle Busch. The championship goes to Kyle Busch.
Yeah, you guys are awesome! Oh my God!
And just like that, it was all wrapped up for Kyle Busch and the 18 team of Joe Gibbs Racing. And Hollywood couldn't write a story much sweeter.